and you would be right. But there is a story I have to share that might tell you a bit more about what I mean by success. And it goes something like this. There were once two people giving donations at a church. One of them, a rich man who had thousands upon thousands of dollars, gave a couple hundred towards a missionary fund. The other, a poor woman, gave a single dollar bill. As the people gathered around, saw the two donations side by side, they thanked the man dearly and scoffed at the woman silently. Embarrassed, the woman turned to leave, but all of a sudden, a voice everyone knew spoke up, saying, "Don't look down upon the offering of this old woman, for the man has given but his pocket change, while she gave everything she owned."
The moral of this story is that it wasn't fair to judge both donors by the same standard. For though the dollar amounts were apparent, there was so much more to the story than the bottom line. What the people watching failed to consider was the possibility that the circumstances for both donors were vastly different. And they made the mistake of judging both of them only by what they saw. The same thing can be said for us, that as we have gathered here tonight, it's all too easy to look upon one another and judge based solely on what we see. That is, as we walk across this stage in a few minutes to receive our diplomas, some of us will be given different honors than others, while some of us will receive no honors at all. And the biting tendency in each of us will be to make judgments based on who receives what. What we fail to consider, though, are the numerous differences that exist between us. For example, take the idea of natural talent. In every English class I have been in, there has always been the undeniable fact that some students see things better than others. You can make two students with the same background in literature read a novel like Pride and Prejudice, and one of them will understand most everything on his first try, while the other understands nothing even on his fifth. It happens every day in math, in art, in science, and in athletics. Some people are simply more gifted than others.
And natural talent is only one of the infinitely many things that makes each of us different. And that is the reason why we are completely and utterly unqualified to pass judgment on one another. Say to their children, exercise good judgment. For what they really mean then is for their children to analyze the situation before choosing the best option. In a way, this is what colleges do in the application process. They look at the data, analyze it through their knowledge of statistics and patterns, and choose the students they think will be most beneficial for their college. They do not pass judgment. They simply look at the logistics. They're simply measurements of how well one performs in a class. In fact, grades are the only kind of thing that teachers have the right to report on. For no matter how well a teacher knows a student, there will always be more to the story than the teacher can possibly know.
Rather, when we say judgment, we mean the tendency to impose values on the actions or efforts of someone else. When we see someone making a sincere effort or doing something we consider to be moral, we deem him a good person. And conversely, if we see someone doing something we consider to be immoral, we deem him a worse person than we originally thought. Yet like the crowd watching the poor woman giving up her single dollar bill, both our notions of effort and performance depend on our understanding of others. And no matter how much we try, we can never fully understand someone else.
And our point in explaining judgment to you is this: that no matter who you are or who you associate with, you are ultimately held accountable to two people, yourself and the God who knows you. For besides yourself, only God can understand the inner workings of your heart, all of the motives, the context, the efforts, and the intentions that go into making an action what it really is. And to be held accountable means this: that in every choice we make, though people will say things about us, think things about us, or tell us exactly what they believed we should have done, the crux of the matter lies in doing what we know will be right, in the eyes of the one who knows the full story. To paraphrase the words of C.S. Lewis, mankind sees only the results of the raw material a man has been given, while God judges that man on his courage to do something great with it. That the important thing in any decision is not the final product, but is how and why the decision was made in the first place.
And so why does this matter? For one, the idea of everyone being accountable to only him or herself and God helps us not to lose ourselves in the crowd around us. For when we constantly judge others by what we see on the surface, we tend to lose sight of what lies beneath. We make excuses for ourselves based on the standards of others, and we deny our own uniqueness by obsessing over how we stack up against the actions of others. And the result is that we constantly feel deficient as long as there is someone better than us nearby. And even if we do find the rare opportunity to be considered the best, we are only left with a feeling of dull complacency. And that is not success. That is stagnation. And so rather than trying to match the actions of others, we should view each decision as a chance to either improve or degrade ourselves, to hold ourselves to what we know we're truly capable of, and to make the effort to change more and more into the people whom we are called to be. This is what we mean by success, to continually improve ourselves as we look towards tomorrow, striving to become better than what we are today. Thank you, and God bless you all.